Hello and welcome to the Channel One Newsroom from our studios at number 50 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Coming up, death toll in Avenor building collapse rises to 3 after Sunday's incident.
Pacho mo huri no me ba boy no no pe na waka. Se si ade o emergency wo rage. Echi dompe na ho aka ya mo si achia. Ti se no eno na ye krem. But na me ba be hwe se me hu ne bag na ne Ghana card ni ade wo but em say police aje ho ye hia ntimi.
National Disaster Management Organization NADMO earmarks 16 buildings in Accra for demolition with the first pull down in Osu.
My job is to protect lives and property, and so I cannot let him stay in until the building collapses on him. Then we have to organize a search and rescue team. But as we are doing, what we are doing now is just demolition. We are all okay that there is nobody trapped in the structure, but we are pulling it down just to make sure that everybody around is safe.
Healthcare delivery in Komfanoche Teaching Hospital nears grinding to a halt after health workers refuse to call off strike.
The 3 years is you touch on Minufo. Sciatica, asthma. Mamma can you have many every.
President Mahama bans ministers and CEOs from accepting private awards without presidential clearance. In Channel One Business, Centio Oil Refinery receives 1 million barrels of Jubilee crude oil, marking a step in efforts to deepen local refinery capacity. And in Channel One Sports, Black Stars intensify training ahead of World Cup opener against Panama. Grateful that you join us for the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. We start off with healthcare now. And the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital is on the verge of grinding to a halt following the absence of doctors, nurses and midwives at the facility. The health workers who decided to embark on a strike on Saturday over the suspension of their CEO have vowed to remain on strike until he is reinstated. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Doris Lonta was at the hospital to assess the impact of the strike and now reports.
Although the Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amakwaghene announced on Sunday, June 7th that a positive resolution had been reached following a meeting with the striking health workers, services at the facility remained disrupted, with several duty posts, including the usually busy OPD and emergency unit, still deserted. A patient who recently underwent surgery and had returned for a review appointment spoke to Channel One News about the impact of the strike.
I also did surgery. That was 3 weeks, Friday coming. So the doctors gave me appointment to come today. So when I came, I did not see the doctors. Then the only thing I did, I went and did dressing. After the dressing, I find out that I'm still bleeding.
Other patients also shared their frustrations.
They say me coffee, me kwana bibi tome, na mi wa, me nkwa, mo ko fa na hefa na mo di ababe shim. Yes, me sisi. The 3 years is you touch on Minufo. Sciatica, asthma. Mamma can you have many every.
Meanwhile, the president of the Komfanoche Doctors Association and the chairman of the Ashanti Regional Branch of the Ghana Medical Association say members were close to reaching a decision following their meeting with the Ashanti Regional Minister. However, they note that a subsequent statement issued by the Ministry of Health angered members, prompting them to leave the meeting midway.
So yesterday we met in the evening to deliberate on this and have a way forward, whether we are going to vary our strike action or, call it or whatever the case may be. Then in the midst of taking that decision, we had the statement from the ministry that had some inconsistencies to some of the stuff that we've been told, especially as regards the status of the punitive action that was being meted to Dr. Parkwesi Baby.
In the course of our discussion to see the next step, we saw a release from the Minister of Health, which of the discussion. In fact, people were angry, and then we had to end the meeting.
They add that they are awaiting the outcome of a meeting between the hospital board and the health minister before taking a final decision on their next steps.
So we are attending to inpatients, we are attending to any critically ill patient that will be brought to attend to that person. Okay. But it's the outpatient department, we are not attending to any.
We are still taking steps to make sure we go back to our people, talk to them through more discussions, and then see how best we come out positively for.
In a related development, the suspended CEO has issued a letter appealing to the staff to return to duty in the interest of patients and the general public, while expressing gratitude for their show of solidarity.
Patients are lamenting the impact of the strike and calling on authorities to take swift action to bring the situation under control. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Doris Lonta, Ashanti Region.
Now, in an atmosphere of grief and sorrow, residents of Asin Kwafokrom in the Asin South District of the Central Region have bid farewell to the two pupils of Alice Elite Academy who lost their lives in a tragic road accident involving their school bus while returning from school. The development has ignited discussions about the responsibility of school authorities in ensuring child safety. Central Regional correspondent Akwesi Ado has more in the following report.
On Tuesday, June 2, 2024, while the pupils were being shuttled home from school by a vehicle provided by authorities at the Alice Elite Academy, a preparatory school at Asin Edubiasi in the Asin South District of the Central Region, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter bus with registration number AS 2218-20 plunged into the Kotria River along the Asin Edubiasi Homaho stretch when the driver reportedly lost control. The accident caused the death of a boy and a girl, ages ranging between 3 and 5, who were among more than 40 other pupils on the bus. Hundreds of mourners from Kwafokrom and surrounding communities converged at the funeral grounds to pay their final respects to the children whose lives were cut short in the tragic incident. Heartbreaking scenes characterized the funeral ceremony as family members, friends, and loved ones openly wept over the loss. Parents and relatives were seen weeping uncontrollably, while sympathizers offered words of comfort and support to the bereaved families. School children, many dressed in their uniforms, joined teachers and school authorities to bid a final farewell to their departed colleagues. Several mourners described the tragedy as devastating and difficult to comprehend. Some parents also spoke to Channel 1 News. Community leaders and residents used the occasion to renew calls for stricter road safety measures to help prevent similar incidents and protect the lives of school children.
School bus the tie bia anya. Benya be teachers 3. Baako be gina gate. Baako be tran vimvi. Baako tran back. Amankura ni behave a na do wo back no oye ho adwuma. Last person or gate no. Akura ni si form a wa left or right. So obetimi amma kwala na cross road.
Meanwhile, the driver of the school bus, identified as Charles Edu, 41, has been remanded into police custody after being charged with careless and inconsiderate driving. He is expected to reappear before the court on June 12. The principal of Alice Elite Academy, Madam Alice, who was also arrested in connection with the incident, has been granted police inquiry bail on health grounds. She is facing a charge of negligence as investigations continue. In a related development, all the pupils who sustained injuries in the accident have been treated and discharged from the hospital.
Now, the death toll from the Avenor building collapse in the Okaikwe South constituency of the Greater Accra region has risen to 3 after one of the 2 survivors succumbed to injuries sustained in the incident. Accra Mayor Michael Kpakpo-Alote, who disclosed this, says the remaining survivor is currently receiving treatment at the Ridge Hospital. Here's more.
The announcement by the Accra Mayor comes a day after the tragic collapse, which occurred in the early hours of Sunday. The incident drew several government officials to the scene, including Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman and the Minister for the Interior, Muttaka Mohammed Mubarak. Emergency response teams from the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, the Ghana National Fire Service and the Ghana Police Service also mobilized to carry out rescue operations. Speaking to Channel 1 News, Michael Kpakpo-Alote explained that although emergency clearance works are ongoing at the site, legal approval must be secured before the other structure can be demolished.
So far, we thank God we were able to some people into 4, 3 is dead, and there is 1 alive. So there are 2 males, and 1 female is dead. So we lost everything. The other structure they need to get approval from the court before we can demolish the other structure. So which is going to be here to know.
Meanwhile, the mother of the surviving victim is appealing to the government and organizations to assist with the medical expenses of her 17-year-old son. According to Dina Foriwa, her teenager son sustained injuries after jumping from the building in an attempt to escape when the structure began to collapse.
Emergency but now my baba shares me hu ne bag na Ghana card ni ade wo but em say police age hu ye hia ntimi nko ti emwa bia bebia be free ababia no.
Some residents and eyewitnesses have also raised concerns about the speed at which the building was being constructed prior to the collapse.
Omo hwa adan sie so no omo ni nko rounds say obi say osi abrosan a omo be hwe say nipa no be si ni ne kwan so ebi say titi dan omo si nyina ebi wo ho e abrosan e da ho si ho nti e ba ne say na say di a yesi no wo be hu na adwiri egu.
Ghana here, if like I give a work to a contractor, there is no supervision. You see, this building, if you see really, the cement floor is not inside the sun. You see, and the iron rod to see that tall building. Let's see the small iron rod where they use.
As investigations continue to unravel the exact cause of the building collapse here, concerns are mounting over the rapid pace of construction activities in parts of the city without proper regulatory oversight. For Channel 1 News, I am Daniel Odro-Mensah.
Now, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, says 16 unsafe buildings across the Greater Accra region have been earmarked for demolition in the coming days as authorities intensify efforts to avert possible disasters. NADMO says these structures are unsafe and pose a threat to human life. New Okai Secretary reports.
The disclosure follows the demolition of a multi-story building at Osu by NADMO, with the Ghana National Office and the Klole Municipal Assembly. The building, originally constructed as a 7-story structure, reportedly lost 3 floors after they gave way, leaving the remaining 4 stories structurally compromised. Speaking to journalists after the demolition, Greater Accra Regional Director of NADMO, Dennis Nate Ajano, urged the public to report buildings they suspect to be unsafe to help prevent possible disasters.
In this vicinity, this is the only one we have earmarked, but of course, what we have noticed nowadays is that community members are also calling on us. When you live in a community and you cite anything like this and you think it's weak, you call on us. We also liaise with the engineers and then they come and do the integrity test. If it fails and they give us the go-ahead to demolish, we go through a process before finally we move in to assist in the demolition.
He further revealed that the Osu structure is among 16 unsafe buildings identified for demolition in the coming days.
We are doing the demolition without any chaos from any angle. It means that the landlords and the owners of the property have all agreed that indeed the structure is not sound for any human occupation. And so that is why today they've given us the go-ahead to do that. And not only this one, we have about 15 of these structures in the region that has already been earmarked for demolition. So from here, we will continue with the others that are not safe for people to occupy.
Some residents and former occupants of the building welcomed the demolition exercise, describing it as necessary to prevent a possible tragedy.
You know, this time around there is no maintenance, so the thing is like getting weak. Because each rainy season, rain is falling on it and there is no roof. So the blocks and this will be getting weaker and weaker. So I think that's why the government comes and give them quick notice. They've given them notice more than, even when we are there, the government has been coming to give us notice. So I wonder why people, maybe because there's no house, the people have been living there, in a low key, you see. So that's why. So what the government did is very nice because
now, President John Dramani Mahama has directed all ministers of state, chief executive officers of state institutions and other political appointees to refrain from participating and accepting awards from private organizations without prior authorization from the office of the president. The directive follows concerns raised by President John Mahama over the growing trend of public officials being honored by private entities as quote-unquote best performing and quote-unquote most influential without clear, transparent and verifiable assessment criteria. There's more in the following report.
A number of public office holders have recently come under intense public scrutiny following their participation in an award ceremony organized by a private entity whose credibility and evaluation standards have been questioned by the presidency. Among the officials recognized at the event dubbed the Ghana Ministers of State Excellence Honors and organized by Big Events Ghana were the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu, Deputy Transport Minister Dorcas Afotofe, the Mayor of Accra Alfred Kpakpo Aluti, and several chief executive officers of state institutions. The awards have since sparked widespread public debate, with critics questioning the basis upon which the recipients were selected and honored. In response, the presidency has issued a strongly worded directive cautioning all political appointees against participating in or accepting awards from private organizations without first obtaining approval from the office of the president. According to the statement, the increasing proliferation of private award schemes targeting public officials risk undermining the integrity of public service and creating misleading impressions about how government performance is assessed. The presidency further warned that such recognitions, when not backed by credible and transparent criteria, could expose the government to unnecessary public criticism, reputational damage, and perceptions of impropriety. It stressed that any recognition of public office holders must be anchored built on objective, transparent, and verifiable standards that reflect the principles of accountability, merit, and good governance. The directive is expected to guide the conduct of political appointees and reinforce public confidence in the government's performance assessment processes. However, one of the award recipients, Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu, has rejected the public criticism. Speaking on the controversy, she defended the decision to accept the award, insisting that her performance in office warranted the recognition.
My dear, I wasn't surprised of the award I received because sometimes I keep telling people that the little effort you do, when people recognize what you are doing and they give you that recognition, I mean, it empowers you to do more. And so for me, I know I've done a lot for the good people of Greater Accra. Yes, our expectations are high though, but I think I've done a lot that I deserve that recognition.
Meanwhile, social media have been inundated with calls for sanctions against some of the officials who participated in the awards event, with some users demanding dismissals, reshuffles, and disciplinary action.
Big Events Ghana has been organizing awards for more than 15 years. We are the same company that organizes the Radio and Television Personality Awards. We are not new, and we are not just coming yesterday. We have been organizing awards for the past 17 years and over.
Let's analyze this directive by the President now a bit more by speaking to Professor Bafo Ajiman. He is a governance analyst. Prof, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Beg your pardon,
Thank you.
Newsroom.
My pleasure to be with you.
Now, if an institution wants to award me for my outstanding performance, why should that be a big deal? And why should the government of which I'm a member of say I should reject him?
Well, I think some of these awards are very questionable. But more importantly, public officials certainly are eligible to be awarded for good performance. But when it becomes a mass award, something organized purposefully to award government appointees, then you have reason to be certain. First of all, in public service, your award comes at the end of your tenure when the people together collectively decide and make their judgment through their ballot. That is how we reward politicians in a democracy. But when people decide to en masse award people, then we have to question the legitimacy and the relevance and the purpose of such a program. I think that's why a lot of people are raising voices against this particular event.
But a lot of private organizations put up award ceremonies and award schemes. If you look at our music industry, our movie industry, these are the people behind these awards, and they've done this for decades. Why should an award for public servants be any different?
Very good question. I don't think I'll bring entertainers and other kinds of professions on the same line as public officials. Public officials are elected or appointed to serve the public. And the best to judge the performance of such officials will be the public, not a small group of people who will sit somewhere without even sharing the criteria for these awards with the public that put them there and give them these kinds of awards. Also, if you have noticed, over the past 10 years, there have been multiplicity of these groups or companies. Now in Ghana, it seems like there's an award for literally everything that you do, both in the public and the private sector. And for the private sector, I won't be bothered because that's private. I mean, that's their own thing.
Okay. Over the, maybe 2 decades or so ago, when John Kufuor was president, you recall that award that the states gave to appointees of the government. At the time, the criticism was that John Kufuor and his quote-unquote cronies awarded themselves and gave themselves huge chains that they hung around their necks. What that means is that the state itself, even awarding appointees, would also be frowned upon. Now, if that is the case, does it mean that public servants should not be awarded under any circumstance, either by the private person and the state? Apologies, I think we lost Professor Bafo Ajimandua there. He was speaking to us about that award, which has generated lots of controversy, and the president giving directive against his appointees going ahead to pick awards without presidential sanction. This is Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. I'm Umaru Sanda Amado. Let's move to some other stories. And parents of Boaduili Primary School in the Nanumba North municipality of the Northern region are having some challenges relating to school feeding program. Let's hear from our Northern regional correspondent, Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira, who has more.
The school feeding program was introduced by former President John Ajakum Kufuor with the aim of providing one hot meal daily for pupils at the kindergarten and primary levels across the country. The initiative was designed to boost school enrollment and improve attendance. Reports suggest that some caterers fail to meet the required standards. Although the program is expected to run from Monday to Friday, some schools reportedly receive meals only once or twice a week. In addition, the quality and portion size of the food are often said to be inadequate. Boaduili Primary School is one of such institutions where parents are raising alarm over the situation.
This time, looking at the situation, is the food is not enough for them, because the last administration always they were every day they will cook for the people, but now sometimes to be twice in a week. So that's why I'm saying if they can they can do something to improve it for us.
The chief of Boaduili community has also added his voice, describing the situation as a serious concern and calling for immediate remedial action.
In fact, anytime I visit there, I always become worried, because looking at the quantity of the food that is being given to the children is very worrisome. You can't imagine such a small amount of food to be given to the whole school. How are these children going to feed on this and live healthy to sit in the class and then learn? So it has made the children to lose interest in the school.
During a visit to the school, the assistant head teacher confirmed the challenge, noting that it is affecting academic work as many pupils fail to return to class after break.
And about the feeding to the food the children eat in school, normally it doesn't satisfy them. And when they go for break, they do not return on time. So we are appealing that the food, something should be done about it.
You're watching Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. Still ahead, Central Oil Refinery receives 1 million barrels of Jubilee crude oil, marking a step in efforts to deepen local refinery capacity. More on that when we return. Please stay with us.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit up! Hey, mommy.
My wife is cooking something delicious. Well, here.
Lizzy hot pepper sauce, spicy. Bona yede, Lizzy oh Lizzy. Lizzy
the Shito is Shito. Lizzy Shito over fail.
Lizzy Shito. Please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzy Shito dear. Ebesu obiasu.
Lizzy Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy and
Lizzy Shito hot pepper sauce. Spicy.
For bulk purchase, kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis only on GoTV.
She ready through. Ete simani sui. Doctor Samen koyo operation. Cataract surgery. Ni through.
Minia. Ustro sesen. Sisia Dr. Agawa ama operation ya ye simple okrom ha won't say. Sisia there no ABS.
ABS. And also ne
ABS na chese. No anesthesia. No bleeding. No suture. Unt na hospital hokra anche. Obeji di senra. Mekoye surgery.
Sa.
Ani o. Enese me di ye medwuma na you. Hwese me need ho clear.
Wow. Na simple sa. O se hospital by no.
Dr. Agawa's Eye Hospital. Ebentesa no police station. Wow. For it was 0501-534-498 and 0553-019-311.
Dr. Agawa's Eye Hospital. For eyes like new.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.edupackgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by GES.
Next is Channel 1 Business with Nashika Caesar.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100-100-100. Thanks for sending your bank card details. Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Well, the ever-radiant Nashika Caesar is in studio with me. Nashika, please take it up and tell us what's in the world of business.
Now in business, Sentio Oil Refinery has received about 1 million barrels of Jubilee crude oil, marking a step in efforts to deepen local refining capacity and reduce Ghana's dependence on imported petroleum products. The move, the government says, is part of a broader strategy to strengthen energy security and cushion the country against global shocks amid rising geopolitical tensions. Yes, more.
For years, Ghana has largely exported crude oil while relying heavily on imported refined petroleum products. At a ceremony marking the development, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor, said recent global conflicts have reinforced the urgency of expanding domestic refining capacity.
Beyond the immediate commercial benefits, this initiative has significant strategic implications for Ghana. A stronger domestic refinery industry helps fuel oil and petroleum supply reliability. It reduces exposure to international supply shocks, improves foreign exchange retention, creates employment opportunities, and supports the growth of ancillary industries across the petroleum value chain. Because as you refine oil, you get other byproducts and other products which benefits the entire value chain.
For her part, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, described the refinery as a strategic national asset central to Ghana's industrial transformation drive.
The LPG will offer cleaner cooking fuel for our families. The asphalt will lay the very roads our nation needs to grow. And behind every barrel, every product, every linkage to transport, agriculture, manufacturing and infrastructure are people, Ghanaian workers, Ghanaian tax collectors, Ghanaian engineers, Ghanaian farmers whose life will be better because this refinery is.
Speaking on behalf of the board, the Executive General Manager of Sentio Oil Refinery, Eric Lin, commended government for supporting local refinery efforts and reaffirmed the company's commitment to expanding its operations.
This achievement reflects the vision of governments of Ghana under President John Dramani Mahama to promote value addition, industrialization, energy security, and local content development.
Moving on, President John Dramani Mahama is urging international investors to take advantage of opportunities and favorable business environment available in Ghana to explore new opportunities. The president made the comment at the Ghana-Belarus Business Forum. We have more. The 5-day visits reflect Ghana's growing interest in leveraging Belarusian expertise in agriculture and industrial processing as part of efforts to modernize the country's agricultural sector and enhance food security. The Ghana-Belarus Business Forum is expected to strengthen commercial partnerships and attract investment into key sectors of Ghana's economy. President Mahama impressed on Belarusian investors to explore new opportunities for economic, agricultural and technical collaboration between Ghana and Belarus.
Ghana and Belarus, this moment presents us with an opportunity. It challenges us to move beyond traditional patterns of engagement and to build practical partnerships that are based on our shared interests and to our mutual benefit. Where Belarus possesses the expertise, Ghana offers the opportunity, and where Ghana offers opportunity, Belarus can find profitable partnerships.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Simon Maggi, emphasized that the countries now pay special attention to economic ties.
We know you have strength in forestry, so about 3.7 million hectares restored so far, and the opportunities as well for cultivation in the forestry sector.
Let's now bring you an update on crude oil prices and how the local currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's it for Channel 1 Business. I am Nashika Caesar. Sanda.
Thank you so much, Nashika Caesar. To some other stories now, and the Commissioner General of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Anthony Ntem, has urged residents along Ghana's borders to protect international boundary pillars to safeguard the country's territorial integrity. He urged border communities to stay alert and report any suspicious activity, damage, or encroachment on boundary pillars to local authorities and security agencies. He made the appeal during a 5-day operational and human security assessment in the Volta region to examine boundary conditions and community needs.
We are here to find out whether the pillars are still intact, whether there have been any encroachments over the period, whether there's anything threatening the security of our boundary. Yeah, my message to the good people of our fire service today. The pillars that have been erected to mark our international land boundary, when they see those pillars, they should protect the pillars for us. And then also, if there are any issues that they think threatens the security of our boundaries, they should quickly alert us. And then also find out, if there are any issues also that they have with the communities at the other side, at the Togo side, that they think that threatens their security as well as the peace, they should also alert us so that we sit down and then address those issues amicably.
Now, the trial involving Akonta Mining Limited and its owner, Bernard Ntwi-Bosiakon, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has been adjourned to June 16 for the continuation of the cross-examination of a prosecution witness. The case forms part of ongoing efforts by authorities to tackle illegal mining activities across the country. Jude Duncan has more.
The case involving the Republic versus Akonta Mining Limited and its owner, Bernard Ntwi-Bosiakon, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has been adjourned to Tuesday, June 16, for the continuation of the cross-examination of the prosecution witness. The MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman is standing trial over allegations that his company was involved in illegal mining activities, including conducting mining operations in the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve without the requisite approvals from the relevant state agencies. Earlier in court, counsel for the defendants raised concerns regarding the prosecution witness's assertion that the presence of Akonta Mining's insignia on certain vehicles and equipment necessarily meant that those assets belonged to the company. However, the Deputy Attorney General Justice Remsai raised an objection, submitting that the questions posed by the defense counsel regarding whether the presence of Akonta Mining insignia on the vehicles necessarily implied ownership were irrelevant to the proceedings before the court.
Say that based on his confirmations, is it the case that Akonta Mines owns any of the equipment they're pointing to? And the answer was no. And the only connection, according to him, was that somebody is connected to Akonta Mines, and the equipment, one of the equipment is connected to him. Whether in registration or whether in inscription is something that we need to leave to establish at our next agenda date. And whether or not that person himself is connected to Akonta Mines is another matter that we need to investigate. And indeed, that person has been in the court. He has come to testify, and he has also indicated his associations devoid of Akunta, but his association with Chinese experts, and he had also indicated in court that he is a translator.
You're watching Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. Still ahead, Black Stars intensifying training ahead of World Cup opener against Panama.
Me didn't tum. Miss your friend me calico, just call me cockroach. Now miss your friend me once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Miss your friend is sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso. Come tum preko.
June is for business here at City FM and Channel One TV. This June, the ideas get bolder and the future of Ghanaian business takes center stage. Welcome to the City Business Festival 2026. For the entire month of June, 97.3 City FM and Channel One TV bring together the thinkers, builders, innovators, and dreamers shaping the future of enterprise in Ghana. From powerful business fora that spark meaningful conversations to insightful on-air discussions with industry leaders and change makers, to stories of resilience, innovation, and ambition from Ghanaian entrepreneurs. This is more than a festival. It is a movement of ideas, strategy, and impact. Whether you're starting small, scaling big, or simply dreaming of your next breakthrough, the City Business Festival is your platform to learn, connect, and grow. Join the on-air series every weekday at 9 a.m. on the City Breakfast Show on 97.3 City FM and at 11 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. on Channel One TV. This June, let's challenge businesses. Let's refine ideas. Let's create impact. Call 0205-973-973 for further details. City Business Festival 2026, driving ideas into impact. The City Business Festival 2026 is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel One TV in partnership with Absa Bank, and it's proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN, Zondatech Ghana Limited, and Petra Trust.
You're welcome back. Up next is Channel One Sports with Bernard Abeku-Ochre. Charlie, the World Cup is already here, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, June 11 is starting.
June 11? So yeah. 3 days or 2 days more?
Yeah, 3 days.
You have news from the camp, don't you?
Yeah.
Please give it to our viewers.
Oh, let's get into it, shall we? Now, of course, with preparations for the 2026 World Cup gathering momentum in the United States, with the tournament just days away, we need to get to the grounds and know how the team is faring. So, joining us live from the United States is sports analyst Godfred Akotobwafo. Hello, Godfred. If you can hear me, what has been the mood in camp so far?
Well, the mood in camp is good, apart from you calling me a sports analyst.
Oh, that's fine.
But the mood in camp is good. I think catching up with the Black Stars today, you realize that they are in a very light-hearted mood. Today they were giving the day off from training. So the boys had a bit of time to themselves. They didn't have to go through the rigors of training. My understanding is the past couple of days has been really difficult at training because some of them have been doing double sessions. Their objective basically to ramp up their fitness levels, which was kind of expected considering how Coach Carlos Queiroz is expected to play. So over here at the Hilton Hotel at Mark Center in Alexandria, Black Stars pretty much in good shape.
Oh, that's excellent, but how are the players adapting or, kind of fine-tuning themselves more and even trying to sit in well with the weather conditions in the United States?
Yes, I think being in Virginia has done that for them. I think the lack of rigor, because if you enter a World Cup camp, the rules are different in a World Cup camp. So it takes a certain kind of toll on the psyche of players, but the camp in Virginia has not had that. Although it's very strict, you don't have access to the players. They live in a very secluded part of the hotel. The officials are around to make sure that everybody is behaving. But it does look like, players are adapting. The weather is good. We haven't had rain. It's been pretty sunny the entire period that we've been here. In fact, it's been really, really hot. Yesterday, for instance, the temperatures were somewhere around 72, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is not football weather, for regular people. So those are some of the conditions that they've had to get used to. But I think it favors Carlos Queiroz because he's looking to drill these boys down to a certain level of fitness to execute what he wants to execute with the team. And it's been interesting to see the boys, catching up with some of the things he's trying to implement.
Well, that's also important. But then adjusting and, having a game would also help the sharpness of these players. We were learning that there was going to be another friendly. Are we having that friendly?
There's nothing concrete on that yet. Conversations are being had, and I have a feeling that we will get something a bit more concrete either this evening or tomorrow on whether Ghana plays another friendly game. What is clear is that whatever that game happens, it will not happen in the eyes of the public. It will happen behind closed doors, too close to their official first game. So we expect that to happen behind closed doors, but nothing concrete to report on whether another game has been organized or not.
All right, Godfrey, that's important. But I was also learning from other sources that where the team trains is quite open and it's a concern for the head coach. Can you say anything to this? Is that the situation on ground?
Well, I don't have any official mention of that, but perhaps to link to what you have heard from your sources, the training grounds, there is mention of a change to the training grounds of BC United. And the rationale I had nothing to do with how open it was. It had to do with the nature of the pitch. The nature of the pitch at the BC United training ground considered much more superior to what the team had been using.
All right, Godfred, thank you very much. We'll be coming to you for more updates from the United States in relation to the Black Stars. Thank you. Well, away from there, the expanded 48-nation FIFA World Cup kicks off on June 11, 2026 with Mexico facing South Africa in the opening match. But before a single ball is kicked, the tournament is already facing concerns, not from tactics or teams, but from extreme weather conditions across the three host nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. There is more in this report by Channel 1 Sports, Julio Ashirifiamo.
Across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, teams are arriving not just to prepare for football, but to battle the elements. The primary threat is intense oppressive heat. Scientific models warn that southern venues like Houston, Miami, and Dallas will consistently breach 28-degree wet bulb thresholds. At this level, high humidity stops sweat from evaporating, sparking severe health and safety warnings for the players. A new climate study reveals that a staggering 97 out of the 104 matches will be played in heat conditions considered unfavorable for elite football. In fact, 10 out of the 16 host venues face a very high risk of extreme heat stress. Compounding the heat is the sheer scale of travel. Teams will rotate through radically different microclimates in a matter of days. A squad might play in the cool, rain-slick climate of Vancouver, only to fly directly into a 100-degree Texas heat wave for their next match. But the risk extends far beyond the pitch. This tournament is projected to generate a record 9 million tons of greenhouse gases, double the carbon footprint of Qatar. While the multi-billion-dollar indoor stadium will use heavy air conditioning to protect the players, millions of traveling fans in outdoor fan zones will bear the brunt of the midsummer sun. Then comes the volatility of summer storm. In regions like the Midwest and the South, sudden severe lightning storms present a constant threat. Tournament rules mandate an immediate 30-minute match suspension if lightning strikes within an 8-mile radius of the venue. To mitigate the danger, FIFA has adapted. Strict stadium bans on personal water bottles have been lifted, and officials have implemented mandatory cooling breaks during both hours of play to prevent heat illness. From severe heat waves to unpredictable tropical downpours, the 2026 World Cup will be a definitive test of human endurance.
Well, that's the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abeku-Ochre. That's your sports under.
Thank you so much, Bernard Abeku-Ochre. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Channel One Newsroom. Visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel One TV on YouTube for more exclusive video contents from Channel One TV. You can also download the Channel One News app on the Google Play Store. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Many thanks for watching us.